This is the Horse Radio Network.
This is episode 563 of Horse Tip Daily. A different horse tip, a different equine topic, a different equestrian expert every day. Horse Tip Daily brings the world of equine knowledge to you, one day at a time. Today's tip is brought to you by EquestrianCollections.com, a world of choices delivered right to your door. Hi, Coach Jen here, and thanks for tuning in to Horse Tip Daily. Today's tip is from Fran Jurga. Fran is the creative force behind Hoof Care Publishing, which chronicles the progress in the art and science of preventing, recognizing, and treating lameness problems in horses. Today's tip is a group of great inspirational book and DB titles for your holiday shopping list. But first, a word from today's sponsor, Equestrian Collections. EquestrianCollections.com has everything for the horse lover, from A to Z. Ariat footwear to Zoc socks, Amigo blankets to Zilco strap goods. They carry an astounding array of name brand products, and they offer unlimited flat fee shipping options if you're the indecisive type. Stop by EquestrianCollections.com for a world of choices delivered right to your door. Now, enjoy today's tip. And Fran Jurga, welcome back to the Horse Tip Daily Show. We continue our merry way through the 455,000 recommended books, CDs, and DVD titles for Christmas from my Fran's library. It seems you have a never-ending supply.
You know, Jennifer, it's great to be back, but since we talked the last time, I was thinking maybe I should have another job of being a gift consultant. If you know anybody who's interested in horses in any way, I bet I can think of a book that will just hit the nail on the head for them.
You can be the horseman's personal shopper for books.
Doesn't that say something about horse book publishing, though, that there's a book for everyone?
There is. And you know what I'm going to do? Glenn and I went to the Joseph Beth bookstore a few days ago.
My favorite place.
Yeah, well, you may or may not know because you don't live here in Lexington, but the Joseph Beth bookstores were sold. And they have a new owner now.
What?
Yes, they have a new owner. They're still privately held. It wasn't sucked up by some conglomerate somewhere. But they have a new ownership now. And I have noticed already, because this only happened less than a year ago, that the horse section is shrinking.
No.
So I'm gonna put you on them because you can, you need to tell them the way it is. I was very disappointed it's a fantastic bookstore, but I was very disappointed that the horse section is down to about 30% of what it was a year or two ago. Yeah.
Oh, I'm speechless. I'm
very
absolutely
upset.
Speechless.
Yeah.
Well, new owners of Joseph Beth Bookstore, if you are listening to this broadcast, please know that everyone in the country depends on being able to shop at that horse book department.
When you come to the horse capital
of through Lexington.
When you come to the horse capital of the world, you need to go to Joseph Beth Books because it's the only bookstore where you can go and actually pick up a horse book and look at it before you buy it. Yeah.
And you can sit there all afternoon and read it first if you want.
Well, yeah, you got to go to a little cafe and you get a latte and you sit down on one of the big puffy chairs. Yeah, you do that too.
Great. It's absolutely great. Oh, yeah. I'm devastated. But, don't worry, Jennifer, I'll be on the case.
You're on the case, okay. So you're going to take care of that. You're going to write hate mail to the Joseph Beth book folks and recommend lots of cool books that they should have there. But today, on today's tip, we're going to have a little chat about some great, inspiring titles for the horse folks on your Christmas list, or if you need a little inspiration for yourself, something to put on your list.
I think that the latter is going to be the case with a lot of the people who listen to Horse Radio Network. They need to buy gifts, but they're just happy enough to buy gifts for themselves as well, I think. So I think that inspiration is a great place to start. And where could we start better than at something that's not a book at all, but I hope that this is completely sold out this Christmas, and that it does just a world of good, because it's a wonderful project. It's a calendar, and it's called Horses and Hope 2012. And a lot of people know who Sarah Kay Andrew is. She is a fantastic horse photographer. I know her originally from racing, but she also does a lot of 3-day eventing and dressage shows and things like that. She's from New Jersey. She's been published everywhere, and she has an eye for the unusual. And she got together with another friend of mine, my friend Gina from Hoofprints in Indiana, who is a publisher and just a terrific retailer. And they did a calendar, and the calendar is called Horses and Hope. And Sarah has been going every week to a horse auction of rather needy horses who need new homes, and she's been photographing them in these very beautiful, poignant portraits, and they made a calendar of it. And the calendar tells not just the story of horses that need homes, but kind of,
it's also about the success of the ones who do find homes.
What happened to the ones that did find their homes? And it's just a beautiful message, a beautiful package. I just can't imagine a better gift to give someone. And I mean, it's gorgeous. I was knocked out when I first saw it, and every time I've looked at it since, I've seen something I didn't notice the first time.
Yeah, this one actually went on as soon as I saw it, because you had mentioned it to me a few weeks back when we got together and tried to figure out what tips we were going to do. You had mentioned this to me. Oh, yeah, I've heard of that. So I dug around until I found it, but I hadn't ever really looked into it. I just knew about it. And I looked at it, and you can see some of the pictures that are in the calendar if you go there to buy it. And I think poignant really perfectly describes this. They are poignantly beautiful. They're not beautiful in that grandiose, make a giant 18 by 24 and hang it in the office.
Right, not Robert Vavra.
No, they're poignant. Pull at your tug at your heartstrings. Go give your pony a hug and a carrot. So this one, I definitely recommend this. Absolutely.
If you could take horses that are not beautiful because of their position in life and imagine that they've been transformed in these portraits to absolutely beautiful animals. I know that sounds strange, but it is just a remarkable, remarkable calendar, and I can't recommend it highly enough. It's $14.95, and
the proceeds benefit rescuing these horses that are really on their way out. You know, this is their last stop. If somebody doesn't save them here, they don't get saved. Right.
It's very high quality paper, really, really great binding, and you can order it at www.hoofprints.com is where I know to get it from. That's Gina's website. Do you know of any other ways that this is being sold?
That's the only outlet that I am aware of where you can purchase it.
Yeah, that's all I know too.
Yeah, so I'll make sure I put a link directly to the Hoofprints website when I do the show notes. Folks, when you listen to this episode, just go over there to horsetipdaily.com, and the link will be right there on the show notes page, and you can go and pick one up. And I know that the calendar this year is selling pretty well, and they have made a second printing of it.
Oh, you do know that?
Yes, I do know that. Yes, I saw I'm friends on the Facebook page. That's what did it for me.
Aha.
And they're doing a second printing, which I think is ready already. It's already ready to ship. So you can head on over there and
That's great.
that.
And so that also means that maybe if someone's listening to this after Christmas or, sort of January 1st, you all of a sudden realize that you need a calendar, well, maybe you'll still be able to get this one. I was worried it would be sold out, but maybe it won't be.
They had gone through, I think, the majority, if not all, of the first printing, and there were people waiting in line for the second. So please do go over there to hoofprints.com. The hoofprints.com website is not the most organized in the world, so be patient. Click on a lot of links. It is there, and it is well worth it.
And there's a lot of other interesting things on that website.
There's all kind of cool. It's chock-a-block full of really unique stuff.
You could spend some time there.
Yes,
I do. So anyway, that is something that I'm just thrilled to recommend that. And I thanks Jennifer for letting me go a little off track because it's not technically a book. And neither is the next thing that I want to recommend either.
That's okay.
You're so indulgent of me. The next thing is a product that's just being launched this week, so I don't think anybody even knows about this yet. But it's a CD series, and it's called Inventing Your Horse Career. And it's a really terrific project. Two women, Nanette Levin and Lisa Derby Oden, put together a list of people with rather unusual careers, or unusual ways of executing their careers anyway. And it's not the run-of-the-mill, this one's a veterinarian, this one's a, horse trainer, this one, these are people with, sort of a lot of multi-purpose professions, self-designed professions, entrepreneurs, and people a little bit off the beaten track. And I can say that because I'm one of them. And we know how far off the beaten track I am.
Yeah, but, way out there in the woods, honey.
Yeah, I'm out here on the frontier. But what they did was they did this very comprehensive interview, asking each of us, about our backgrounds, how we came to do what we do, what our, both what our formal training, informal training was, who influenced us, but most of all, what advice would you have to give someone who was interested in a career similar to yours, which I don't think anyone is interested in a career similar to mine. I'm pretty sure of that. But I gave information, about how, how to be in a niche situation and, sort of make it your heart's desire. And some of the people interviewed are L.A. Pomeroy, Danny Emerson, Bob Jeffries and Suzanne Shepard, Linda Houck, Christy Lundberg, Stacey Small, and Marianne Simons. And
That's
I
cool.
think people will,
wide variety.
A wide variety, but pretty much all self-made people, if you know what I mean. People that did not follow a formula, to be able to come up in the horse business and say, yes, I'm going to be that. I mean, each of us had to kind of make our own way and define our own paths. And I frankly can't wait to listen to it. I'm really, really looking forward to it. But this will be coming out, and you can order it from horsesenseandsense.com, and that's horse sense as in SENSE, and then ANDCENTS.com. And there's a link there to Inventing Your Horse Career. And I hope that people will give a listen to this. I hope that it will be something that both inspires people and maybe gets people to think about a different way forward, a different path, carving out something that is unique, because I think that's one thing that the horse business has made possible for us.
If you have a budding serial entrepreneur on your gift list, they need this CD.
Yeah, somebody that is thinking, both a young person was, one of the people I was thinking of, in terms of giving advice, but I was also thinking about people that want to start second careers and have always wanted to work with horses, and, they, look at the structure of the horse business maybe without thinking what their skills are most adapted for. I mean, who would ever believe that you and Glenn would be able to launch Horse Radio Network where there was never anything like that before, and this is the kind of thing that we're exploring in these discussions.
Well, it's going to be a great something for somebody who is very happy to think outside the box, but is also passionate about horses, because there are so few resources for people who want to, in some way, shape, or form, work in the horse industry. But it's kind of like somebody who's bonkers about basketball. There's only a tiny percentage of people who are bonkers about basketball that get to be professional basketball players. But there are tens of thousands of people who work in the industry of basketball.
Right. Exactly.
And it's a little easier to find that because basketball is a mainstream sport in America versus horses. So this is I think, going to be one of those items that as years go on, it's going to be more and more and more sought after because somebody's going to be sitting around in the tack room on a snowy December afternoon and say, oh, well, how'd you get that really awesome job working for thehorse.com in Lexington, Kentucky? Well, I listened to this CD a couple of years ago, and I got this brilliant idea from it. So this is going to be a really cool one to put into the library of those budding.
Yeah, and also if you're trying to
types.
convince, an investor, or you're trying to convince your parents, or you're trying to convince your spouse that it's legitimate to have a career in the horse business, this is some pretty good ammunition.
Yeah. And there's more to careers in the horse business than just riding.
Oh, there is so much.
Not that riding isn't cool and awesome. But there are so, and that's, I think, going to be good for if you are the parent or family member, significant other of the serial entrepreneur, creative thinker. This might be good for you to listen to together because that can go, oh, look, we could survive.
Yeah, I mean, just think about somebody like Stacy Small. I don't know if you know Stacy or not, but Stacy's a genius at product development. Now, when you walk into the tack shop and you see all those lotions and potions and supplements and things, did you ever think that, there's someone with a very creative mind who has formulated them, who has figured out, testing them, has figured out, what sorts of horses, what sorts of situations, what does the market need, what do the horses need, how should it be packaged, should it be a liquid, a gel, a spray, all those different things. That's what this woman is a genius at that, and I can't believe that they've interviewed her because she will be so interesting, and they all will, and they all have that uniqueness to them. So I'm just thrilled about this. I hope that it's a big success, and that if anything, more and more people start to think way outside the box and don't get so discouraged about.
So Fran, give us the title and where we can get it one more time.
It's called Inventing Your Horse Career. It's at Horse Sense, SENSE, and AND Sense, CENTS.com.
There you go. And I think we've got one more truly inspiring gift suggestion in this little bucket, don't we?
Yeah, we do.
Now, wait, before you start, no spoilers.
No, we're not going to have any spoilers.
No spoilers.
But I think a lot of people know by now that as of tomorrow, we will go live with the Warhorse News blog. And we're going to have every bit of news under the sun about everything to do with Warhorse, the movie, and also information on the play and the book. And I have been surprised to find that not a lot of people have read the book. And I loved the book. And, some people say, oh, it's a children's book. I didn't think I should read it. It's not really a children's book. It's a beautifully, beautifully written story. And I can tell you that having read the book really, really helped me understand what was going on in the movie, especially in terms of World War I and, sort of the whole idea of what the trenches were all about, what no man's land was, and things like that. And I have been just thrilled to read and reread and quote passages, et cetera, from this book. So I would very much hope that everyone is planning to go see Warhorse on Christmas Day, or, okay, maybe the day after. But in the meantime, I think I read the book in maybe 2 to 3 hours. And as I said, I loved every word of it. And I just think maybe it's could be a family project, or it could be, something that you read with a friend and then discuss it, before you go see the movie. If you want to not read the last chapter until you go to the movie, that might be a thing to do too.
Now, how are you going to do that? You're going to read the whole thing and stop at the last chapter?
Well, I don't know. I think it might be an interesting thing to do. But anyway, I just can't recommend this book enough. It's a neat little hardcover book. It's $16.99. It's available on Amazon.com and everywhere else. And I really, really recommend that. And the other thing I wanted to recommend is a book called The War Horses. This is a photography book of what really happened with the horses in World War I. Not that the movie is an excellent depiction of it, but this is called The War Horses, The Tragic Fate of a Million Horses Sacrificed in the First World War. It's by Simon Butler, a fellow over in England who has assembled just the most gorgeous coffee table book of absolutely drastic, horrible photographs, but also some very poignant, beautiful ones as well. And I think that if you don't know anything about the horses in World War I and you go see War Horse, you're going to want to know more. The other thing would be if you are planning to go see War Horse and you're a little worried about, well, I don't really know that much about World War I and, you know, how it was fought, this book would explain to you everything about the horse, and it is a magnificent book. Can't recommend this highly enough. It's the last time I checked, it was on Amazon.com in the United States, but it was shipping from England, and the publisher was going to try to get more copies over here to America, and I hope that they have, or that they will soon, you know, in keeping with the premiere of the movie. So I just can't recommend War Horse and The War Horses highly enough. And I should say War Horse, the book from that the movie is made from, is by Michael Morpurgo. It's Morpurgo. And it's a beautiful little hardcover book. I think there's a new edition of it coming out with the poster from the movie.
Yes, I'm sure. They always get
Oh,
those
yes.
out. Yeah. So 3 truly inspirational items for you if you need a little inspiration at the holiday season, or if there's someone on your list that appreciates some inspiration and heartfelt gift giving in the horse department. We've got the great calendar for Horses and Hope. We've got the great CD about inventing your career, and Fran's recommendation, read the War Horse book. Don't just see the movie. Do both. And thank you very much, Fran, for your help this afternoon.
Oh, Jen, it's so much fun. It's so great to be able to recommend these books. Thank you so much for letting me have the chance to promote them to people, because I'm really in love with all 3 of those projects, and it's a special thing to share them, especially at this time of year.
Well, we'll see you next time, Fran.
Thanks. See you soon, Jen.
There you go. To listen to all of Fran's tips, just go to horsetipdaily.com and go to the Experts drop-down menu on the left. You can also go to Fran's website blog at hoofblog.com. Don't forget to support our sponsors on Horse Tip Daily, because they make these podcasts possible. Our sponsor today has been EquestrianCollections.com. Visit them today for a world of choices delivered right to your door. Please stop by the Horse Tip Daily Facebook page and let us know what you think of the tips you hear on the show. It's also a great place to tell us about topics you'd like us to cover on the show. You can subscribe to all of the great shows on the Horse Radio Network through iTunes or Zune and get your horse podcasts automatically downloaded to your iPod, Zune, or MP3 player. I'll be back again tomorrow with another new expert and a different horse tip. Until then, go ride your horse! The Horse Radio Network and the Horse Radio Network hosts are not responsible for statements of guests or their opinions. Use your own judgment when listening to the tips provided by the experts on Horse Tip Daily.